something within a week or so. I caught the time on my watch. Hey, let me give you a buzz tonight or tomorrow to shoot the shit. I'm gonna need to run here to try to get to work on time. Yeah, no problem. Whenever you get a minute, Kane said. Tell the gang I said hi, I said. Will do. I clicked off and slid my phone back into my pocket. Then I poked my finger at the car's navigation screen. The calculating message disappeared, and the screen lit back up with the map. Okay, let's try this again. I punched in the address for the Manassas, Virginia Federal Building. The route came up, and the robotic woman's voice told me it was just 2.5 miles away. I shifted the car back into drive and continued on. My new workplace came into view on my right just a couple minutes later. The federal complex consisted of 2 matching white 5-story rectangular buildings, separated by a 6-story curved central building with a Lannon stone facade. I pulled into the complex and stopped at the guard building. One man, armed with a rifle, stood just outside the small building, and another slid open the building's window. Identification, the man said from inside the guard shack. I pulled my credentials from my suit jacket's inner pocket and handed them to him. He scanned the barcode on the ID and handed it back. New, huh? He asked. Yes, sir, I said. Well, have a good day, Agent, he said. I gave him a nod, watched the guard shack's security barrier rise, and proceeded to the parking lot. I found a spot, bounced off the parking curb, and killed the motor. Small shrubs and light posts lined the concrete walkway as I headed up the long, curved sidewalk to the central building's main entrance. I pulled open the front door and entered. My feet clacked against the white tile floor. The walls and ceiling were also white, the only color in the room coming from potted trees, more of the same Lannon stone facade carried over from the front of the building, and a blue section of wall with the FBI logo in the center. I made my way to the bank of elevators in the right corner, rode up to floor 2, and stepped off. Agents in suits hustled back and forth around the cubicle-filled office. I was standing in the main room of the Serial Crimes Unit. It looked more like a computer tech company, or maybe a stock call center. It definitely didn't resemble law enforcement. Maybe it was all the suits instead of patrol uniforms. I headed toward my department, nodding hellos to those I passed. The homicide unit was across the office and through a door near the back. I made my way there, twisted the knob, and walked in. I closed the door behind me. I looked left to right across the department. Immediately to my left was a large office with the blinds drawn. It belonged to Supervisory Special Agent Art Ball, my superior, who I'd met with the prior Friday. The office was dark. On the right wall were 2 rooms. The one closer to me was the tech center. That room was filled with computer monitors and desks. I saw no one inside. The second room to the right, where I'd been told the morning meetings would be conducted if necessary, was much larger. I walked toward it and glanced inside. The lights were on, with no one there. Standing bulletin boards filled with photos took up most of the back wall. A large rectangular table ran straight up the center. I rounded the corner to the right. 4 agents' desks, including mine, were lined against the left and right walls of the room. Another office with the door closed and the lights off took up the rear wall. A single female was sitting and staring at a computer at the far desk on my right. She was gnawing on the end of a pen, but she set the pen down and spun in her chair to face me as I walked toward the empty desk I'd been assigned directly behind her. I showed her a smile. I'd seen the woman as I left the other day, but hadn't been introduced. "I'm guessing you're our newest addition?" she asked. "It's Hank, right?" She stood from her desk and walked to me with her hand outstretched. She was strikingly attractive and looked to be in her late 20s, or at most 30. She had an athletic build,